A pleasant good evening to you all from Hat City, USA, here on the Danbury Hat Tricks YouTube channel. First game at home in a couple of weeks. I'm Chris Lynch, alongside my partner in crime, Jim Cerny. Jim, it is fabulous to have the Hat Tricks back home again.
Yeah, it's been actually more than a couple weeks. It's actually been a few weeks.
Yes.
It's been 3 weeks since the Hat Tricks were home, that series against Columbus. And they fared pretty well on the road, did the Hat Tricks. In particular, when you throw into the mix that they were playing without an extended period without their captain, Johnny Ruiz. Also, Gordy Bonnell has been out of the lineup. Haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of Dustin Gesso either. So you're talking about three of the top, offensive players on this team have not been available. But yet, the Hat Tricks have been able to maintain their solid play. And they come into play today, still in first place. It's tight. It's just by 4 points, but they're still in first place ahead of the Binghamton Black Bears, who they defeated last weekend in Binghamton in what was just a crucial late season win for the Hat Tricks.
Yeah, that's one of those games that you circle on your calendar, as this is extremely important. Like, all games at this point in the season matter because you're jostling for positioning so you can get home ice advantage for the playoffs. And by the way, guys, we hadn't seen a little bit. It's great to see Tobias Ojic back in the lineup. 7 games played this season, 7 points. He has produced when he's been healthy, and it's wonderful to see him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Tobias, the last time we saw Tobias Ojic in the lineup here at Danbury Arena was back on October 29th. Got into that late skirmish in a game against Binghamton, and he ended up with several facial fractures. He lost multiple teeth, so he went back home. He was back home in Quebec for months, and just when he was about ready to turn the corner and it looked like he was going to return to the team and be back in the lineup, certainly the very sad news that his father, Gino Ojic, the former NHL player with the Canucks and Islanders and several other teams, passed away. So that extended his time away from the team. He did come back during the road trip. He played 4 of 5 games over the last couple weeks, and he did have a goal his last game out. So he's still finding his legs, still working his way back. He was off to a good start, too. He had 6 points in his first 3 games, and then he suffered that injury and, of course, missed 3 months. He was out of the lineup for 3 months.
And he figures to be a crucial piece of this Hat Tricks lineup as we go down the stretch. Let's take a quick look at the Port Huron Prowlers. They come in 3rd place in the Continental Division. This is a good team that has given a bunch of teams, has given Columbus and has given Carolina a bunch of real problems. They've added a couple of guys recently with Western New England's hockey schedule coming to a conclusion. They've added a couple of guys to their roster.
Yeah, they have 2 new faces in the lineup tonight. That just their collegiate season just ended. A pair of forwards, Demetrius Stefanov and Jason Diamond, will be making their professional debuts tonight. But really, that's nice. That rounds out their roster. That gives them depth, Chris. But this team is about the veterans, and it's led by Dalton Jay, certainly a very familiar name here in Danbury.
You got to start with the Titans.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not the only one. There are 5 guys here on this roster, longtime members of the Prowlers, that all got their start in the Fed right here in Danbury with the Titans. Alex Johnson, who is their top defenseman and also an assistant coach, is another one of those guys. But really, when you talk about Port Huron, you talk about the veterans, and it starts with Dalton Jay and also the player coach, Matt Graham.
Dalton Jay has been a terror scoring-wise, leads the team in scoring. He's actually the highest scoring player of anyone who's playing in this game. Johnny Ruiz has missed a bunch of time, so he would have something to say about that if he had been playing, but he's been out for a couple of weeks. And also, we should note, Johnny Ruiz is in the lineup tonight. Slots in between Michael Falanga and recently acquired Jacob Radcliffe from Canterbury, New Zealand.
Yes, Jacob Radcliffe, you mentioned Ruiz and Radcliffe. 2 key guys to watch tonight for the Hat Tricks. Radcliffe played 2 games on that road trip, still finding his leg. He's a guy with 30 games of experience in the Southern Pro League, so he's played at a higher level, got released, signs here in Danbury, and let's see what he's got. He was a 3rd liner in the SP, but Billy McCreary was telling me earlier today that in the Federal League, he's a first or second liner. And he's still finding his legs, but he's going to get the opportunity to play with the captain tonight. And great to see Johnny back in the lineup. Johnny Ruiz missed 8 consecutive games with the shoulder injury. It's a little touch and go this week whether or not he'd be back in the lineup tonight, but indeed he is going to play. Great to see him back as the hat tricks get closer and closer to being whole in the lineup.
And you knew that it was eating him up. Johnny was on the bench for most of the games as a player assistant coach, which is one of his goals, that he wants to go into coaching when his playing career is all done. He was around the team. I got to sit with him at practice. It was eating him up that he was not a part of the on-ice result. And I'm sure he's so happy to be back involved in it now.
Absolutely. He's a guy that, has a lot of pride. He knows he is the most valuable player to this team. He's their leader. He's their captain. He's their best all-around player.
Yep.
He plays a great 200-foot game, and he's missed when he's not out there. And that the hat tricks were able to tread water and do even better than tread water during the time that Johnny was out of the lineup really speaks to the group that Billy McCurry has put together here. But make no mistake about it, Johnny Ruiz is the engine that makes this team go, and it's going to be tremendous getting him back in the lineup tonight.
A few quick other notes as the Port Huron Prowlers have hit the ice. We're waiting for the hat tricks to come out. Zach Pamaleon stays on defense. He's grown more and more comfortable in that capacity. And Xavier Abdella comes back from the SPHL. He was in the mess in Vermilion County, and he's managed to find a home back here again.
Yeah, and again, good for the hat tricks. Abdella came back during the road trip, so he's played a couple games back with Danbury. Timing couldn't have been any better. They also got Jared Yao back from the SPHL as well, so that's 2 key defensemen that are back in the lineup again, because it's important to note that one of the defensemen now is out, and that's Riley Robertson, who they found out he's got a foot fracture, so the timing couldn't be any better to get Abdella and Yao back in the lineup. We should also point out that during the road trip, a couple guys exited. Luke Richards and Cody Gibbs, were traded to Elmira for future consideration, so kind of a new look, refurbished Danbury Hat-Tricks team over the last 3 weeks since they last played a home game here at Danbury Arena.
Let's throw things down to public address announcer Dre, who's got the Danbury Hat-Tricks starting lineup. A very nice touch that Tobias Ojic goes out to take the opening ceremonial face-off from some of our friends from all over the different places. Dalton Jay out and doing the same as well. Fitting as well for a former Danbury Titan and the undisputed on-ice production leader of this team. We should note, goaltender Brian Wilson had a fabulous opportunity last night with a call-up to the Belleville Senators of the American Hockey League, the affiliate of the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, great opportunity for Brian Wilson last night, and a well-earned one of a guy who's having an absolutely terrific season in the Fed this season. Belleville actually were without goaltenders. They had to call one up from the ECHL, but they still needed a backup goalie last night. They were playing in Bridgeport against the Islanders. And of course, you know, hey, we're not far from Bridgeport here, and hey, we've got a quality goaltender here in Danbury. So Brian Wilson got the call, and the Hat-Tricks loaned him to Belleville for one night, one game, and he did not get in, unfortunately for Brian. 5-1 Belleville loss at Bridgeport, but cool stuff. Second opportunity he's had to back up in the American League. He did so last year as well, and you know, first time this season that he's been on loan. So Brian Wilson is back with Danbury tonight, and he is in goal to our left as we get set to drop the puck tonight, the Hat-Tricks and the Prowlers.
Port Huron in their mustard yellow jerseys. They'll be going from left to right across your internet waves. The puck is dropped. We're underway from the Danbury Ice Arena. You'll also notice these are very nice, shiny, and new all-black jerseys here for the Hat-Tricks. The white shoulders across look excellent. First shot on, and Brian Wilson makes a save, as expected.
Yeah, Brian Wilson's made a lot of saves this year. He's been darn good. A record of 24-5, a 278 goals against, a 916 save percentage. He leads the Federal League in wins, and he is second in the league in goals against average and save percentage this season. As he makes the start here, it is his fourth consecutive start, and he has just had a terrific year. 14 starts this season. He has allowed 2 or fewer goals.
I think you could make an argument that your most valuable player is either, on the Hat-Tricks, is either Johnny Ruiz or Brian Wilson.
Yeah, it's probably Brian Wilson. You know, he has really been the rock for them, you know, and even when Johnny was out of the lineup, he has been terrific.
Quick run through of the Danbury lines. Lucas DeBenedette centers Michael Marchesson and Daniel McKittrick. Igor Borshev centers Tobias Ojic and Dmitry Kuznetsov. Johnny Ruiz centers Michael Falanga and Jacob Ratcliffe, and Daniel Amesbury, playing his first home game since coming back from suspension, actually got one of the goals in the Binghamton game.
Yes, that was Amesbury's first goal. It's kind of a weird goal, bounced in off Amesbury. He was right place, right time in front of the net. Amesbury's first goal of the season, and you know, he came back during the road trip, and he played in 5 games. He had the goal there, and for him, a pretty mild 19 penalty minutes in those 5 games.
Off the tie-up, tumbling down. Falanga goes into the corner boards. They'll take it away. Torrey McLean couldn't get it through Borshev, who turned and fired. Falanga holds up and goes down in the neutral zone. It's McLean. Borshev on the low boards. Turns and fires from a bad angle. Where did the puck go? It went straight up sky high into the protective netting. That's a strange bounce off the net.
Yeah, it went off the side of the net, up and over the back netting, and you mentioned how the Port Huron player went down in a heap. Well, that's because Borshev knocked him down to the ice in a heap. So it was a good job by Borshev. You know, he was able to play the puck, win the puck battle, and send his man flying out of the zone.
Port Huron in their mustard yellow jerseys with the Prowler logo at center. It's very loud, and it definitely gets your attention. And it serves as a sharp contrast. I'm sure our photographer friends are looking at this and having some fun. At the circle shot, save made. Good save by Brian Wilson. Prowlers still in attack mode. Whips this one around to the left side. Stefanu recently arrived from Western New England. Will settle this at the blue line and work it low. Jared Yao gets on the loose puck. off the side of the boards. Amesbury tries to flip this out, couldn't succeed at this. Brendan Dowler will get on it. Port Huron is hopping off for a line change.
That was a good scoring opportunity right there, up high on Brian Wilson, and he had to shake it off with his shoulder.
Amesbury got a tip on it. This doesn't have the legs to turn into an icing, so it doesn't. Amesbury lays the check on Brian Parsons. By the way, Parsons wearing a different number. He's normally number 16. He's wearing number 88 this evening. Xavier Abdella picks off, streaks into the attacking end, leaves it for Ojek. Spins. Ratcliffe, the New Zealander, in front. Shot by Ruiz. Ooh, just a little bit wide. This place would have had a good time had that puck go in for Ruiz. Point shot. Save made. Ojek goes down. Tried to put it on the slot for Ratcliffe. Got interrupted by Matt Stoya.
Yeah, Johnny didn't get good wood to that one. He heeled it and shot it way wide of the net. Sure, Johnny, you know him. He's itching to get a quick one here, and he was in good position for it, and he was set up for it, but he just heeled it, and it went wide of the mark.
By the way, an offsides whistle that results in the neutral zone faceoff. Borshev, this team gets more and more international with a couple of guys from Canada, Ojek and Amesbury, Ratcliffe hailing from New Zealand, a couple of guys from Russia.
Well, we've got Borshev and Kuznetsov. And of course, Kuznetsov, happy birthday to him.
Yes,
celebrating
indeed.
number 28 tonight.
A very happy birthday to Dmitry Kuznetsov. He'll throw the pass a little bit behind Johnny McDonald. It's been a successful year for guys from the hat-tricks getting called up to the higher levels of pro hockey as Kuznetsov will put the shot on. Puck bounces to the circle. Falanga goes and turns. Borshev gets stapled into the boards, and Port Huron will just control it and flip this out. I had that thought seeing Johnny McDonald play the puck, and I went, Johnny McDonald and Jared Yao have both gotten call-ups to the SP throughout the season. McDonald in front. Oh, Marcia Sand tumbled down. We've got a delayed penalty going against the Prowlers. Point shot, save made. They don't get the touch up. Another shot on. They finally will get the touch. Demetrius Stefanou does so. And 3:53 into the game, we have our first penalty and first power play.
And some good scoring opportunities there, too, for the birthday boy, Dmitry Kuznetsov. He had a good chance, especially right there at the end when it was a 6-on-5 and Wilson had come to the bench. He had a good point-blank try from about 15 feet out from the left wing, but he was denied by Rodriguez. And so the hat-tricks go to the power play, and boy, if they struggled. One power play goal in their last 7 games, Chris.
It's been one of the only things they've struggled at all year, where for a while the last place team is Ruiz will shoot this one. It goes sky high to the boards. Rolls up to Gonzalez. Ruiz fighting the puck a little bit. McKittrick wanted to put it on for Marchesson. It's a 2-minute interference penalty against Evan Foley. McKittrick to Gonzalez. Pamaleon winds up. He's got a good shot. He should use that more. Ruiz. McKittrick. Marchesson waiting out in front. Pamaleon will control it at the top of the circle. Gets by one man. Tries to put it in front. Marchesson, a nifty pass. And a good puck cover by Danik Rodriguez, the starting goaltender for the Prowlers.
Yeah, good pass there. Marchesson going between the legs as he was heading to the goal line, dropping it back to McKittrick, who put the one-timer on net from in close. But as you mentioned, Danik Rodriguez with the save, the 22-year-old rookie from Quebec, 6-3-0, a .391 goals against average and .889 save percentage this season.
A couple of Quebecers going against each other. Rodriguez from Quebec City, Ojek from Kitigan Zibi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ratcliffe will put it up to Yao. 57 seconds worth of power play time left. Kuznetsov, a nice shot. Rebound goes through. Hat-tricks lead 1-0. Lucas to Benedette on it, and the Hat-tricks lead it on the power play. How badly they have yearned for power play goals.
Well, all it took, Chris, was for Cerny to lift the whammy from them. Point out that they had one power play goal in their previous 7 games, and they're able to come through here to Benedette going to the net to bury one between the pads, of Rodrigue. So we watch here, shot up high. Goalie gets down the rebound. Nobody clears out the crease defensively. And DeBenedette is on it for the hat tricks and is able to slip it into the net.
And by the way, it was Dmitry Kuznetsov who had the shot, so the birthday boy is going to get a point on his birthday.
Yeah,
very nice thing to see.
Absolutely, and he'll extend his point streak to 4 consecutive games. And DeBenedette with his 6th goal of the season.
37 points now for Kuznetsov, his 19th assist on the season. 37 points in now 35 games. Another chance in front. Amesbury puts it to the slot. Jared Yao will get on the loose puck. They'll regroup and give it backwards for Dowler. Yao with a lot of room to work with. Slides through, tried to leave it for Ruiz, didn't see it. Ratcliffe wanted to pick off Heinzel. Ojic knocks the puck high, uses his mitt to control it, or attempts to. Port Huron off the boards in front of the benches. Dowler for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe rolls on. Ruiz, diving in front. The pass didn't quite get through. Ojic sets up for Dowler. Put shot looking for a redirection, and it's shunted into the boards by Stoya. Danbury has had some good shooting chances.
And a good job by Ratcliffe there getting his stick on that puck. A good deflection in front.
Ojic high and off the glass, and Kuznetsov gets 1 assist. Jared Yao is also going to get an assist on that goal, his 23rd assist. This is our first pause after the 5-minute mark. We'll take a breather, come back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena here on the Danbury Hat Tricks YouTube channel.
Well, TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury. You can stop by TK's and try one of their 76 amazing wings flavors. That's www.tksamericancafe.com. TK's right here on White Street in Danbury.
I finally got to go to TK's with Calvin Savoya, our technical wizard, who has been just fabulous to work with. I had their classic hot wings, and I got to say, tasty, but I want to test the hotter stuff over there.
Ooh, look at you.
I want to test it.
Tough guy.
I don't know how far I could go with it. I'm not
tough guy.
I want to try it. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me down the road. Yeah, it probably will.
Literally and figuratively, exactly.
Lucas DeBenedette taking the face off, and Ojic dove a little too quickly. So we'll retry this. They toss out DeBenedette. Ratcliffe will go on, and it's a pretty clean face-off win for Matt Graham. Down behind the net. Puck thrown in front at the circle. Winds up, shoots it, sails it high. A little bit quicker on that shot for Dylan Thackeray, and you probably have a more open net, but it did get tipped on the way in.
Yeah, well, it went off the blocker of Wilson and up into the netting, but you're spot on, Chris. He really took a while to settle that puck and then wait, and then shoot it. If he was able to snap that shot off quickly, he would have had a much, much better scoring opportunity.
McKittrick and Johnson collide. Shot a little bit wide to the left by Johnson. Gonzalez trying to settle it down. DeBenedette, the goal scorer. Gonzalez will work this up to the blue line, and play turning into a little bit of a mess in the neutral zone. Port Huron settles and looks to go on the prowl. Yes, that was set on purpose.
And you were working on that all week.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be opportunities for more things like this. Maybe. Oh, goodness. 7:40 the time gone by here in the first period. Chris Lynch, Jim Cerny on the call with you here this evening. Tipped in the middle by Dan Chartrand. Abdella So as Borshev will flip this up for Falanga on the red line. Falanga, who scored the overtime winner in the Columbus game, the last time this team took to the ice. And what remains a bitterly contested game for the finisher of it.
Yeah, that was a crazy one, and the one, unfortunately, you weren't here as the puck goes up into the netting with 11:41 to go in the first period. And, that was the wild, hat tricks thought they had won on Falanga's goal. Referees waved the goal off, and Columbus came out the other way. Kelly beat Wilson. Columbus storms the ice, thinks they've won the game. The officials got together, talked it over, and then said, no, Falanga did score, and the hat tricks had that crazy 5-4 overtime win.
And that's a needed win against the top team in the league. We're going to keep saying needed win. It's late in the season. They're all needed wins.
Yeah, as Wilson gobbles up another one here. But it was important because you want to play your best against the best, right? And if you can get as many points as you can against the best teams, it speaks well to who you are as a team. And the hat tricks had lost in overtime the night before to Columbus. They didn't want to lose 2 in a row at home to Columbus, so they came out and, obviously it was a 50-50 call. It could have gone either way. They could have lost it or won it because both teams technically scored in overtime.
Funny how that ends up working.
Yeah, it was, listen, with no replay for the officials to look at, they did the best they could, and they made the decision that Falanga had scored.
2-on-2 for the Prowlers. The hat-tricks defense catches up. Ojic kicks it to deny Evan Foley the advance. Ratcliffe holds it and wings it across for Ojic. A little bit high, he'll settle it down, but behind him, so can't get any momentum. They'll swap off. But the Benedette McKittrick Marchesson line takes the ice. Slot shot, fluttered up and out of play. Tipped on the way up. 10:41 to go here in the first period. Shots are 8-3 in favor of the home team.
Yeah, and de Benedette there, in good position between the circles. He's like a shark in the waters, just finding that right spot, constantly moving. And he was in a good spot there, but puck was deflected up into the netting.
De Benedette hailing from International Falls, Minnesota. Out of hockey for a little bit. Had most recently played for Medwine, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, professional league in France. Out in front, Wilson with the stop. That's a great chance for Dalton Jay, and that's the last person that Danbury wants to have a shot like that.
Yeah, Dalton Jay skating down the middle of the ice, right between the circles, and a beautiful centering feed. Jay was able to bat it out of the air on net, and a good pad save by Wilson.
Cuts through, Abdella with the kick, shot blocked before it got on net. Borshev will get it to the blue line. Sprinting over to get on top of it is Thackeray. Jay gets crunched by Marchesson. Gets a rise out of the Danbury fans. Prowlers on the move. Thackeray, who's nets off with an active stick. They'll work it down low behind the net. Stefanu into the blue line around Falanga. Looks for the shot. It's wide of Wilson. Pamaleon will flip this up. I'm really impressed with how well Pamaleon has adjusted as this will fly its way on. I'm impressed with how well he's adjusted from being a full-time forward to really a defenseman, and he stepped in so well on that blue line.
Absolutely, and Billy McCreary was talking about that with us before the game and saying he is really, really pleasantly surprised and very pleased with how Pamaleon has been playing as a defenseman, so much so that they felt comfortable making the trading Cody Gibbs to Elmira.
He's a very talented player hailing from Hawaii. There's more interesting spots where you can find players. Ratcliffe will poke that out across the blue line. Prowlers were off sides. Wilson settles it, has Daller as his release valve. Tape to Ruiz. 3-on-2. Amesbury winds up and shoots it. A good shot by Amesbury. Ruiz with a good chance on. That'll find its way a little bit wide. Good looking couple of chances and good offense from Daniel Amesbury. Wilson with the blocked shot. He'll put his mitt on it. That'll take us to the under 10 media timeout. So quick pause, back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena. here on the Danbury Hat Tricks YouTube channel.
Right off the jump, we've got ourselves a line ball. Robert Hyde across the glove.
We're going to have a fight at center.
Levesque with a couple of big rights.
He scores!
Well, Dr. Jared DiLorenzo is a proud member of the Danbury Hat Trick medical team. Stop by and see him and his group on North Street in downtown Danbury. Feeling good is an option, and Dr. DiLorenzo and his staff can get you there. 8:20 remaining in the first period. The Hat Tricks with a 1-0 lead, a power play goal from Lucas DeBenedette. And right before the break, Chris, we were talking about how well Zach Pamaleon has transferred from being a forward to being a defenseman. And you had earlier mentioned, some of the players that had played in the SPHL this season. Well, there are 5 guys in their lineup tonight on defense alone that played in the SPHL this season. Abdella, Gonzalez, and McDonald, 4, and Yao. I mean, that says a lot that Pamaleon is playing up to the level of those guys.
Wicked shot from the top of the circle. Wilson gets a good rise out of the fans in the 200 section level. It's a real credit to Billy McCreary that he's been able to find players and bring players in who are good enough to make that jump. Up top is DeBenedette, second time in the period, is tossed from the face-off, and they don't even let Marchesson go, and they put McKittrick on the dot. Circle shot, skitters wide.
That's a good deflection in front there.
Heinzel with the shot. Wilson will put it in his pads and stop the shot. Port Huron starting to catch up on the shot counter.
Speaking of shots, Brian Wilson got a workout in his last start. And the Hat Tricks skated to that 4-3 shootout win in Watertown last Saturday. Brian Wilson made a season-high 55 saves. That doesn't include the shootout shots as well. 55 saves through regulation and overtime for Brian Wilson last Saturday.
And by the way, that was against Watertown, a team that when they played here, we noted that they played a strong defensive style of game. So much for that as Heinzel's shot is stopped. Oh, tip, that caught a hat trick stick on the way in. Wilson still makes the save. Pass forward for McKittrick, got to the circle, pulls up, blows a tire, and lobbed over the middle. This has a chance of turning into an icing. It won't. Wilson will play it over to Johnny McDonald. It's one of the best offensive chances that Port Huron has gotten all day.
Yeah, the Hat Tricks have surrendered 95 shots on goal in their previous 2 games. That was a lot of rubber Brian Wilson saw because he started each of those games last weekend in Binghamton Friday, in Watertown on Saturday.
Well, it's very fortunate that you have a good goaltender who can take the punishment and can take the pressure in net. And by the way, this is the first time this season that Danbury and Port Huron have faced each other all season.
Yeah, good point. First time that these teams have met since December 18th of 2021. They played 7 games in the first 2 months of last season and then didn't see each other the rest of the way, and then didn't see each other the first half of this season until tonight. As you said, first meeting between these 2 teams this year. Last year, Danbury won 6 of the 7 meetings.
They'll have 4 matchups against the Prowlers, 2 here, and the very last weekend of the regular season, April 14th and 15th, they'll go to the Mitten State and round out their regular season, when hopefully they'll have their postseason spot secured. Hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of a long trip. That's a painful bus ride out to Port Huron. So for sure, they would prefer if they knew what their playoff situation was, if they were locked into their spot. And then maybe you leave some of the veterans at home. You don't have to send the A-team out to Port Huron. We'll see. Time will tell.
Foley picks off the pass. Wilson had made a save beforehand. Borshev with the check. Yao. Give it on around to Dowler. Pass off the glass. Good catch at the blue line. Foley at the circle. Shot save made by Wilson. And a good cover. That's a nice little play that Frank Schumacher made to get his mitt on it, but he's kind of limping off to the bench.
Yeah, he got shaken up there. He went hard into the wall after he was able to keep the puck in and send the puck up ahead. He went kind of awkwardly into the wall, and he is now, he went to the bench. He did not go to the dressing room, so hopefully that's a good sign. But the veteran, former Danbury Titan, getting looked at right now on the bench for Port Huron.
6:12 the time remaining. Port Huron is almost caught up to the hat tricks in the shot counter department, 10-9.
And special welcome back, recently returning from the pool.
And now the officials are having some trouble figuring out which five should be on the ice for Port Huron.
Blocker save made by Wilson on the long point shot. Borshev can't control it. Joseph DeVenny picked off by Borshev near the blue line. Abdella will get to it off the Port Huron clear. Gonzalez deservedly wearing an A on this team.
He was the de facto captain when Johnny Ruiz was out of the lineup. Gonzalez wore the C in Johnny's absence.
And it's absolutely deserved as the puck hits Kuznetsov right square in the back.
He's one of your veteran guys, and certainly with Gordy Bonnell also sidelined, it seemed like a natural fit that Kyle Gonzalez would wear the C with Johnny out.
We should note Gordy is progressing as the Abdella with the shot on. Gordy is progressing and working his way back into the lineup, so hopefully it won't be too much longer. Good pickoff by Abdella. He looks much more aggressive this sequence than this couple of games than his first stint with the hat tricks before going to Vermilion. Marchesson with the shot, catches Rodrigue off the face mask, off the rebound, and the Prowlers on the attack. Stoya pulls up at the circle, looks, flips it across, winds up, bad angle shot, sits on the apron of the goal. Wilson just trying to put his stick on it, and he'll cover it up. Smart decision. Austin Federley shoving against Johnny McDonald. Third and final media timeout of the period. We'll take a pause, come back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena here on the Danbury Hat Tricks YouTube channel.
For a comfortable stay with great amenities, the only choice is La Quinta by Wyndham right here in Danbury. Ask for the Hat Tricks friends and family rate. You can't beat it. La Quinta. He's Chris Lynch. I'm Jim Cerny. Hat Tricks lead 1-0. Face off to the left of Brian Wilson late in the first period.
Ruiz wins it cleanly from Stefano. It's quite an interesting thing. You go from playing at Western New England as a shot on and go to take a face-off against Johnny Ruiz, captain of the best team in the division.
Yeah.
Nice jump.
Yeah, it's a little jump.
Heinze will work it along the half boards, knocked out of play, or knocked out of an attacking end for Port Huron. Ratcliffe with the pickoff. Puck rolled on and picked up by Stoya. Crossed the red line, lobbed in. Johnny McDonald flung around to Zach Pamaleon. McDonald rolls this one into the attacking corner. McLean will work this out. 2-on-2 come the Prowlers. Cuts it to the right. Stefano sails the shot a little bit wide to the left. DeVenny turns, wanted to fire Dowler on the loose puck. Falanga spinning with the contact. Amesbury rings this round. Terrible bounce. Falanga the shot, and diving back in was Rodrigue. That corner has been an enormous problem for goaltenders all this season. then Rodrigue nearly fell terribly victim to it.
Yeah, a great scrambling save, and Falanga didn't get a lot to the shot either, but a really good job by Domingue getting back into position to make a scrambling save.
It's been that left side corner
all
on the
season.
independent side. It has been weird, crazy bounces when it goes in. That's a door that's near down there. So that's why that's kind of a weird spot. De Benedette with the shot. Blocker save by Rodrigue. Kittrick tried to pick it off. On come the Prowlers. Alex Johnson wanted to funnel it in for Foley. Gonzalez, space to work with. Backhand from the red line. McKittrick, and at the goal line extended, wanted to throw it out in front, blocked down by Johnson. Flipped over the middle, settled and controlled. 2-on, here is a good shot, save made! Second golden chance for Dalton J, and Wilson has turned him away both times.
Wow, boy, Port Huron turned what looked like a 3-on-3 into a 2-on-1, and what an opportunity for Jay.
Shot trickles a little bit wide to the left. Federley wanted to put it to the point and sent it wide of Dustin Henning. You know, the Prowlers are getting their chances.
Yeah, and Brian Wilson really looks dialed in. That was a terrific save. Great opportunity, and Jay didn't misfire on that one. He got all of it.
He got it exactly where he wanted to go with it. Yao from the red line. He'll just lob this in. Parsons. Again, Parsons wearing a different number tonight. He's normally number 16. Picked off by Kuznetsov. Fakes the one-timer. Swoops in behind the net. Up to Dowler. Dowler winds up, looks for the shot, and a glove hand save by Rodrigue.
That's a good job in front of the net there by Port Huron. They let the goaltenders see the shot. They were pushing the hat-tricks to the outside. Dowler flung one towards the net, and you're not trying to score on that shot. You're trying to get a deflection in front, but the hat-trick players in front were all pushed to the side, and that was just an easy glove save. So it's good. You got to give credit there to the Port Huron D.
Borshev with the clean face-off win. Abdella will ring this around. Gonzalez tries to get to it, gets beaten to the race, on the race by Jason Diamond. Gonzalez, left circle, Borshev. Gonzalez holds up. We've got a whistle. Daniel Amesbury is going to get called for a 2-minute minor for goaltender interference with 1:11 left. He went through the crease trying to screen, and he caught Rodrigue. That's going to be a 2-minute minor, and for the first time tonight, the Prowlers go on the power play.
Yep, not optimal with 1:11 to go in the period, leading by 1. You're trying to, get to the intermission with the lead, and now they're going to be trying to kill off a power play here. Danbury on the kill, 6th best in the league, and Port Huron 4th best on the power play.
You've gotten a boost from one side of your special teams if you're Danbury on the power play. You could use a boost here to get it to the intermission with Port Huron still on the man advantage. Stoya across the blue line. Rolls it to the top of the circle. 48 seconds to work with in the first. Stoya holds it. Pass blocked. Devaney, top of the circle to the goal line extended. Devaney will settle it, or try to. Stoya finally does. Whips the pass across. 30 seconds left. Shot fanned on it. Stoya caught the heel of his stick on the puck. Sits on the apron of the goal. Stoya at the circle. Whips it high. Somewhere in the middle of those two is a goal-scoring shot. 14 seconds to work with. Devaney will swap spots with Foley. Stoya holds it. 9 seconds left. Stoya to the circle. Winds up, shoots it. That's wide to the left. And that is that. Danbury leads 1-0. And they're a little bit fortunate that they are in the lead with a couple of great chances late on in that period.
Yeah, absolutely. We mentioned how Dalton J had 2 of them, including the one on the 2-on-1. He also cut down the middle of the ice knocked the puck out of midair and drove it on net. Brian Wilson with several good saves. Right now the shots are listed as 11-11. Remember at one point it was 10-4 Danbury.
Yep.
So that means the second half of this period was pretty much controlled by Port Huron. Certainly the better scoring chances went Port Huron's way in the second half of the period. But I thought Danbury did a good job on that minute 11 on the penalty kill to close out the period. The puck didn't leave their zone, but yet there were not a lot of high-quality opportunities against Wilson. The best opportunity was by Stoya coming in from left wing, and he didn't put it on net. He shot it off the glass. So I thought Danbury did a really good job there on the first part of that penalty kill. They get to the first intermission, leading it 1-0 on Lucas de Benedette's 6th goal of the season. 6 goals in 11 games, we should point out. He's only played 11 games, 6 goals in 11 games for the hat tricks for Lucas de Benedette.
Let's give you a quick look around the other scores in the FPHL before we go to a break for the intermission. Every team in action this evening. Binghamton hosting Carolina. That's a good game. It's 3-1 Binghamton right now in the lead in the southern tier of New York, in the Valley of Opportunity, as Binghamton is so frequently referred to. Delaware hosting Watertown. It's 2-1 Wolves in that game. 5-0 Motor City leading Elmira. That's at the Big Boy Arena in the Mittens State. And Mississippi leads Columbus 1-0 early in their game against the Columbus River Dragons.
Yeah, and all these games, have playoff implications. We're at that stage of the season now, Chris, where we're about, 6-7 weeks left in this season. So every game, there's scoreboard watching going on. And, you have Port Huron here, 64 points, 3rd place in the Continental Division. Motor City, you mentioned, is up 5-0 tonight at 60 points, 4th place in that division. So arguably, Motor City wins tonight. If Port Huron loses, Motor City's now only 1 point behind you. So there's a lot of scoreboard watching going on. You mentioned how Binghamton with a 3-1 lead, doing a good job tonight, there. So the Hat-Tricks certainly, that's a big game for them because Binghamton's, sniffing behind the Hat-Tricks. The Hat-Tricks just 4 points up right now on Binghamton for first place in the Empire Division. So it is at that point of the season where you're scoreboard watching right now.
And by the way, that's an excellent Carolina team that
Yes.
Binghamton currently has that lead. That's the 2 second-place teams in the respective divisions. So,
And who have identical 703 winning points percentages on the season. Both of them have been terrific.
that's going to matter an awful lot as we come down the postseason stretch. Let's take a quick breather from here at the Danbury Ice Arena here on the Danbury Hat-Tricks YouTube channel. Back in a little bit from Hat City, USA. First intermission coming to a conclusion here at the Danbury Ice Arena. We're waiting for the teams to come back onto the ice. The officials are out there and the fans enjoying themselves here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Chris Lynch, Jim Cerny on the call with you here today. Jim, it's a good night to be here at the Danbury Ice Arena. The last time that there was a game here, I was unavailable for that one.
Yes, you were, but fortunately you are available tonight.
Yes, it's so happy to be back here, and I should note I got into a bit of a car accident, but I'm happy to be all physically well and back up and functioning, and happy to see that the Danbury Hat-Tricks in good position here, though it would be nice to come out with some offensive verb, especially with how well the Prowlers closed out that first period, and they still have a few seconds on that power play opportunity as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and they get a fresh sheet of ice to open up the second period on the power play, so big opportunity for Port Huron, only trailing 1-0 and having controlled the second half of that first period. I just wanted to point out, what a great crowd tonight.
Yes.
Like, the crowds have been really, really good in Danbury this season, the home games. But, boy, this one is as close to capacity as I think we've had this year. And, you know, why not? Why not come out and see this team, right? 15-1-2 in their home arena this season are the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Just, you know, absolutely dominant home team as they were a year ago. And you talk about home ice advantage. Well, that's exactly what they've got. And, again, a great crowd tonight. And I love all the different jerseys. Like, I was scanning the crowd before, and, you know, you see the local hockey, you know, youth hockey jerseys. Of course, a ton of hat-trick jerseys. But I'm looking at an Essetikanen number 10 Rangers jersey down there now. I see a Christopher Tanev Seattle Kraken jersey down there. A Jaden Schwartz St. Louis Blues jersey. I mean, man, you got a little bit of everything except a Port Huron mustard yellow jersey in the crowd. I do not see any of those.
There's a few people who have Port Huron Prowler logos on their hoodies.
Not jerseys, though.
Not the jerseys, though. That's correct. I see one Red Sox David Ortiz jersey. We're closer.
I missed that one.
Yeah, we're closer to we are closer to Yankee Stadium, so I'm sure there's more people who would be in that fandom. The puck is dropped for the second period. We're underway. As Falanga will work this deep, we have 30 seconds worth of a power play still to go for the Prowlers. They get a truncated one to open things up. Of course, this is the first of a two-game set that the Prowlers will have against the Hat-Tricks here this weekend. Bentley will walk this on the line. Looks for the shot on net, not there. It'll find its way all the way back to the opposite end of the rink. Rodrigue picked off by Amesbury, who's fresh out of the box. And the power play comes to a conclusion. Hat-Tricks 1 for 1 on the PK and the power play as Wilson will put his mitt on it with Dalton J bearing down right on top of him. Smart decision to not let Dalton J be able to just shoot the puck.
Yeah, you know, really good job there. Those final 48 seconds, Port Huron was not able to sustain any time in the offensive zone. Danbury cleared the puck down the ice 3 times during those 48 seconds, so really good job finishing off a strong penalty kill by Danbury.
Ruiz with a clean face-off win. That's one of his best assets and one of the things that he is most valuable for on the team is controlling possession on the draws.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him take the face-offs because, of course, he's coming off a shoulder injury. So you don't know if that affects him in the face-off circle still, but he's done pretty well tonight.
He's held his own. Backhand shot goes across the front of the crease. Ojic flipped this out. I was talking to one of the fans here who remembers Jim from his days with the Islanders, and he also noted how much Tobias Ojic looks an awful lot like his father. And it's a wonderful thing. He really enjoyed getting to see that.
Yeah, that's, you know, he didn't get to see his dad play, you know, in the NHL. His dad had retired by time he was born.
Oh, shot knocked down. That caught a Prowler right in front. I'm trying to pick out who that is. That's Foley.
That's Foley.
Yep, Foley. It caught him right in the gut and bounced on net. A little bit of friendly fire. And it looks like he's okay.
Yeah, one was going wide of the net. Hit Foley, as you said, right in the midsection and bounced harmlessly to Wilson, who gloved it.
Now catch his breath and head off. Gonzalez holds it on the apron of the goal. Gonzalez with a stretch pass over the middle. Picked off. 2-on-1 opportunity. Winds in shot. Blocked down. Xavier Abdella got a skate on it to blow up the chance for Thackeray. McKittrick with the takeaway. Shoots it, and a nice glove save for Rodrigue.
So, yeah, you know, two good plays there. One at the ice, one at the other end. Really, really good job by Abdella, you know, closing on his man, blocking the shot, and then starting the outlet the other way. And then a good shot on goal, a good opportunity for McKittrick.
Borshev won the initial possession on the face-off. Prowlers take it. Lobbed in. Paddled down by Wilson. 4-player contest and kicks off the stick into empty space. Falanga in hot pursuit. Thackeray tipped by Borshev. Didn't know where the puck was. It'll roll back to Johnny McDonald. Gathered at the circle, threw it to the slot. Loose at the top of the circle. Stefanu will backhand this one around for Jason Diamond. Port Huron starting to get a couple of possessions strung together as Kuznetsov will settle it and lob it over the middle. Wanted Falanga. The puck knuckles away from him. Falanga tied up. Pamaleon using his forward instincts. Thrown on from a bad angle by Kuznetsov. Stopped by Rodrigue. Out come the Prowlers. Dowler on it. Pass up and off the boards. A little bit beyond Kuznetsov. Tipped by Ojic. Went for Kuznetsov. And hat-tricks have just been missing on a couple of these passes. Thrown across for Federley. Takes the check from Yao. Ruiz wants it up for Kuznetsov. 3:30 into the second period. And Port Huron just trying to settle it. Kind of sloppy play so far here in the second. Jay across the middle, diagonal pass to Federley. Left at the circle. Wanted it for Federley. Didn't get himself free. Ratcliffe sprints on. 2-on-1. Ojic with him. Ratcliffe for Ojic, and he misses the shot wide to the right of the post. And that's the best scoring chance the hat-tricks have had this period. Ojic in front. Ratcliffe will try it again. Kick saved by Rodrigue. Off the wall. And then out settled by Gonzo. Boy, good couple of chances for the hat-tricks. Marchesson will get on this one. Ratcliffe really starting to find his groove and find his rhythm. Ratcliffe. Benedette had his shot blocked. Jay, 3-on-3, come the Prowlers. A fourth trailing to Benedette gets back into it. Off the boards, winds up, turns and fires. It's off the wall. Gonzo spins out of a check. DeBenedette waits for it. And we'll get this out. Marchesson controls it. Ready to take on the whole Port Huron defense seemingly himself. Shot blocked a little bit behind McKittrick. Out comes Stoya. Back and forth we go here at the Danbury Ice Arena. And quick play here too. Not a lot of stoppages. To the blue line, down low to the circle. Run through a couple of sticks. Stoya on, picked off by DeBenedette. McKittrick will funnel this in, and they'll go for a line change.
Yeah, they were at the end of his shift there. They had an opportunity to break maybe 3-on-2, but guys were just gassed at the end of their shift. McKittrick did the right thing and just sent it in deep.
Don't burn more energy than you absolutely have to, especially when there's over half of the game left to go.
Well, yeah, you don't want to make a mistake.
Oh, turnover here. That counts as a mistake. They're lucky that Brian Wilson's able to stop it. Borshev and Falanga on the attack, looking for the redirect for Falanga. The puck goes just whistling by Rodrigue. Yao pulls through some traffic. Yao with the takeaway. Yao with an assist on DeBenedette's power play goal. Kuznetsov with the other one. Falanga will settle this. Off the wall. Wanted to get it on to Borshev's stick. Yao will retreat on this one. We have had a long sequence of play.
Yeah, it's been a good 4 or 5 minutes without a whistle.
Yeah, because the first minute of the period was a bit staccato in rhythm. Stop and start, stop and start. And this one, No, it's just been nice flowing and legato.
Yeah, we're 6.5 minutes into the period.
Picked off at the blue line. Shot save made. Wilson will just put his mitt on it. We'll take a breather, come back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena here on the Danbury Hat-Tricks YouTube channel.
Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury is the premier automobile partner in the Danbury area. Located on Newtown Road, the Bennett family has been putting the community behind the wheel for over 35 years. Dream big, drive a Maserati or Alfa Romeo. New and pre-owned vehicles are available. Let Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo of Danbury be your choice.
And worth noting, a big thanks to Todd Maserati Alfa Romeo for being our scoreboard sponsor. Their banner hangs underneath our scoreboard and our uniform sponsor.
Yes,
They're on
absolutely.
the backs and bottoms of the jerseys that the Hat-Tricks wear. They're new jerseys that they have, blacks with the white sleeve across the top of them. I like them. I don't think the Hat-Tricks have rolled out a bad uniform to this point in the season.
No, absolutely not. They have some good ones.
They're going to get
the orange trim in there as well.
Yes, they'll get a slightly different one for March 18th. It'll be Alumni Day as they throw the shot on. Steve Brown among the folks who will be going into the Danbury Hockey Ring of Honor that day, March 18th. They'll honor the 2013 champion Danbury Whalers as the shot sneaks its way a little bit wide to the right of the post. Thrown in front. And that's one thing that Danbury has built up, which is a real good, proud tradition.
Yeah, it's been, multiple teams in the Federal League, but one city and one arena.
Shot saved, floats over the net. How did that not go in? A very fortunate bounce for Brian Wilson. On comes McKittrick. Across the blue line, shot blocked before it ever really had a shot. Dustin Henning got a stick on it. Marchesson. Puck knuckles away from him. Ice has been a bit beat up today. Shot on, save made, and Rodrigue will just put his mitt on it. Back and forth we go with the offensive chances, and it's more offense than what you might expect out of a 1-0 game.
Again, a lot of block shots in this one, where you think there's going to be an opportunity and there isn't, and also missed opportunities. Tobias Ojic about 5 minutes ago had a terrific opportunity, great centering feed, and he just, he shot the puck way wide of the net. He's still finding his rhythm, still finding his timing, his conditioning, all of it. You missed 3 months of the season. That is not an easy thing to come right back from.
McKittrick to Benedette. Marchesson waiting in front. The puck just hops over his stick. 2-on-3. The Prowlers go into the attacking end. Danbury has numbers back. Dowler trying to work this puck free. Dowler upends his man. I believe Dowler has played close to, if not every single game, most games that the Hat-Tricks have played. Scratched for 1 or 2.
Yeah, he hasn't been scratched. He's served a couple suspensions this year. He has not been a scratch.
Correct.
But that's a good point. This is his 37th game, so meaning he's missed 3 games. That's it this season. Nobody on Danbury has played every game this season.
Foley at the circle, shot goes over everyone and into the protective netting. Boy, that's a good-looking chance for the Prowlers.
Yeah, Kyle Gonzalez is playing his team-high 38th game tonight, so he has missed 2 of their games. But nobody's played each and every one yet. And, similar for Port Huron, the guy that's played every game this season is the guy that makes out the lineup. It's Coach Graham, who also happens to be one of their top forwards as well. He has played all 41 games so far this season.
Making like Bill Russell, playing and coaching.
Man, just put your name in the lineup.
Igor Borshev flipped up to Gonzalez. Contested here. On comes Chartrand. Waits for some friends to help him out. Johnson's there. The puck rolls away from him. Thackeray kind of fighting with the ice. This is the third game. Both editions of the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks played games on this sheet of ice earlier on today. So the ice has been kind of beat up more than normal. Gonzalez a shot. Blocker's save made. Rolls away from Gonzalez. Good keep by Ojic. Kicked by Abdella. Xavier Abdella has gotten much, much sharper in his positioning and in his placing since going up to the SP.
He's had himself a good night.
Yeah, he looks solid. Ratcliffe with the pickoff. Ahead for Ruiz, trying to build up ahead of steam. Ruiz with the shot, whistles it wide. I think the shoulder looks okay if the shot's whistling like that. Ojic to Ruiz. Oh, he didn't get much of anything on it. Off the apron for Ratcliffe. Through some traffic, through the captain's stick. Ojic trying to spring himself free of Adam Heinzel. Stapled into the boards. Ratcliffe to the point for Pamaleon, and bad bounce. On comes Federley. Federley sprinting in behind the defense. Walks in backhander. Save made, and he crashes into the Danbury net. Whew. Boy, Port Huron with a good chance. We're going to have a penalty on this as well. The officials came on, had a hand up.
They might be calling Federley.
Yeah.
I mean, you called it that he flew into the goal.
He flew into Wilson.
Into the goalie.
Yes.
Is who he flew into and bounced off him and went into the goal, and that's exactly it. Federley is going to go to the box, and we'll take a break with the Hat-Tricks leading 1-0. Well, Chris, it's never too early in the game to pull out Litchfield Distillery because it's the spirit of hard work. The Batchers of Litchfield Distillery, in honor of the early farmers of Northwest Connecticut, present to you the locally made Litchfield Distillery bourbon, vodka, and gin. Grab it at the rabbit hole and hoist the barrel with the Danbury Hat-Tricks. And those Hat-Tricks go into the power play as Austin Federley had a break and a semi-break. Coming down, bursting down left wing, put his shot on net, but he did not try and avoid goalie Brian Wilson, crashed into him, and now he's going to sit it out for the next 2 minutes. And Danbury goes to their second power play tonight.
They're already 1-for-1 on the man advantage. De Benedette scored his 6th goal of the season, his 11th point in his 11th game as a member of the Hat-Tricks. And this is a power play unit that has struggled, was for a lot of the season at the very bottom of the league as far as power play percentage. They have tipped their way up to second lowest in the FPHL.
Yeah, they're converting at just 14.3%, and you know, we gave the numbers earlier prior to tonight, prior to the De Benedette goal. They had one power play goal in their past 7 games. And that is something that you can't have stretches like that, you know, especially come playoff time, especially when you're playing best of 3 series. You know, those special teams are so important, you know, in games where, let's say Danbury's playing a lesser team in the first round, a team below them in the standings. Well, if you're not firing on all cylinders and the other team is on special teams, boy, that could swing a game. And you win a game in a best of 3 series, you may have swung the entire series. So it's something that's certainly going to be very, very important for Danbury to get in line over these last 6-7 weeks of the season.
We've got a continued discussion with the officials. Both captains, well, Foley and Ruiz, are having a chat with the officials. I'm not sure about what exactly there could be more.
Yeah, I mean, Federley's sitting in the box. So The referee has gone to Port Huron's bench, given an explanation. And now an explanation for Billy McCreary. Johnny Ruiz stepping in between the official and Billy.
They talking about where the face-off is going to be?
I mean, there can't be. If there's a penalty, it's got to come down the ice and be in Port Huron's end, right?
It should. I am very confused by what exactly the discussion is all about.
Oh, Johnny is hot. Johnny is pointing at an official and really airing him out right now, and he's being pushed away from that one official by one of the referees. And Johnny's doing a lot of pointing, a lot of yelling, and I'm not exactly sure what the issue is here.
They've called over, they've gone to Dre, the public address announcer here. There's our friends at TK's Corner. 9:48 the time remaining. It's a 2-minute minor penalty that's currently up on the board for interference against Austin Federley.
Yeah, and he's sitting in the box, so, and I don't see any other door open where somebody else is getting a penalty. I really do not know what the issue is, so, you know, we'll see here.
They've got the Danbury door open as well.
Yeah, that door just opened right now.
I'm more than a bit confused.
Well, I don't think you're the only one.
Stoya and Foley.
Now, Foley is being ushered?
Foley's walking in as well, the officials.
No, he's not going into the penalty box. He might be going over there to get an explanation.
Ruiz is dogging him, trying to get his...
Yeah, I mean that's really unsure, but it does give us time to let you know that New Haven Nighthawk Brewing is brewed right here in Connecticut and featured at the Rabbit Hole. New Haven Night Brewing Company is the beverage of choice at Danbury Arena. Grab a cold one and party like you're in the Elm City. And of course, Diversified Printing Solutions in Danbury is the Hat-Trick's official printing partner. If you want it printed, call Tina and let them link it up for you. DPS Printing Solutions, they can do it all. Locally owned, printed on paper from Connecticut trees.
Our friends at DPS were able to... DPS was able to provide us, they gave the poster that was ours, the Hat-Trick's official playing card set as well, also was a part of it as well. So they were able to provide that. We're very happy to our friends at DPS for all the work that they have done throughout the course of the season, and also our friends at New Haven Nighthawk Brewing. Well, we put the Nighthawk logo on the jerseys for New Haven Night here at the Danbury Ice Arena. So they have put on a penalty on the Danbury side of things.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that makes sense. It's 55, which would be Pamaleon, but he's not in the box. However, 55 of Port Huron, Stoya, is in the penalty box. Right now, Port Huron has 2 players in the box, but on the scoreboard, it's all confused. And now, so it seems Stoya has been assessed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Okay.
So that would make it a 5-on-3 for Danbury, but why would Johnny Ruiz be so hot and angry about that?
I'm not sure. And also worth noting, they did put number 55 on the Danbury side of the scoreboard. Ruiz coming back over to have a chat with the bench. Billy McCreary is hot. Billy McCreary having a chat with the officials. He is not very happy with the ruling that's being given to him.
Yeah, and you know, again, 55 is up on the scoreboard for Danbury. And it looks like Billy McCreary has been given the heave-ho.
Oh boy, yep. He'll walk across the ice. Almost slips. He'll have a couple of words with Rodrigue, and he is out of here. Gives taps to Rodrigue, the goalie. And he'll walk off.
So, but again, we don't understand here, you know, what is going on. you know, we've been told that Stoya has received an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. We know that Federle had the goalie interference penalty. We don't know what set off Johnny Ruiz and Billy McCreary. Ruiz is really, he is giving it to the officials right now. Tyler Noseworthy, the assistant coach for the Hat Tricks, is now taking up the conversation.
Well, boy,
and Xavier Abdella has now also headed to the dressing room.
wait, why is he being tossed?
So Abdella now has left.
Kyle Gonzalez was pointing at it going, why is he being tossed?
I really do not understand. And guess what? 55 in black is now in the penalty box as well, Zach Pamaleon.
I'm totally confused right now as to what the penalty situation is exactly. So they have up on the board matching 2-minute minors, which would be 2 minutes worth of 4-on-4 skating time. Tobias Ojic and Johnny Ruiz are down and having a chat. Ojic with Rodrigue, the goaltender for Port Huron, and Ruiz with the official.
You mentioned earlier how both Ojic and Rodrigue are from Quebec.
Yep.
And they're there. They're talking right now. I don't know if they're talking English. They could be talking French. They just fist bumped a little bit.
They have taken the power play off the board. They have taken the penalty off the clock for Port Huron. They have left Pamaleon's penalty. So after all of that, I think we're going to have a Port Huron power play.
I do not understand.
I don't either, but they are setting up 4 skaters for Danbury. There's only 4 on the ice right now for Port Huron. Nope,
No,
there's the 5th.
It's a 4-on-4.
No, there's a 5th skater.
And here comes the 5th skater. What a mess.
Wow. I've never seen this.
And again, we do not have an explanation. We will wait on that explanation. I
don't know what's going on here.
But what we do know is Port Huron's second power play tonight. Danbury leading 1-0. Big kill here. They have to regain their composure.
Well, here we go. Tobias Ojic will fling this out. Pass ahead for Ruiz. Oh, man, if that pass had connected, he was in alone.
Yeah, Johnny is flying right now. He is channeling how angry he is into his wheels. He was flying at the beginning of that shift.
And I believe we're still waiting on what exactly the penalty is.
Oh, yes, we are.
Okay, so interference against Austin Federle. That makes sense. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Matt Stoya. A bench minor and abuse of official misconduct against the Danbury Hat Tricks.
Well,
A 2 and a 10 as well against Xavier Abdella as well. So that's why he was tossed. Wow, this is really something. So, the result of all of that is that the Hat Tricks have to go on the penalty kill. Puck at the slot in the circle, and they score. A beautiful roof job by Joseph Daveni. And the game is tied up at 1 goal apiece. And here come the Boo Birds. Enormously unhappy with the ruling here, and all these penalties is the Danbury Arena.
Well, what a mess. And again, you know, we're not there on the benches. We're not there by the ice. So we don't know, what happened, what transpired, why these penalties were called as they did. All we know is from the hockey point of view, Port Huron's able to take advantage of the power play. Really pretty sequence there, and they have tied the game.
Well, so the result of all that, that's a great goal. That's a really good goal. 8:25 left to go in the second period. We're tied up at 1 goal apiece. They're running through all of the penalties right now, and another chance. Dalton Jay in center. Kick save by Wilson. Brilliant save by Brian Wilson to keep the game tied at 1. Borshep Wants the pass forward for his fellow Russian. It goes right on net. And Rodrigue will cover it up. The smart decision. Brian Wilson coming up enormously big in net.
What a save right there with the right pad save by Brian Wilson. Great anticipation. Keeps the score tied 1-1 with 8:01 to play here in period number 2.
Wow, howdy. Are we going to take another media timeout? I believe we are. Yep, we'll take one ourselves as well because, yep, we'll take a breather. Hop back in just a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena here on the Danbury Hat Tricks YouTube channel. So 8:01 left to go. Here in the second period, Ruiz works the shot on, Watts it off the apron of the goal. Boy, howdy, a good-looking chance for Johnny Ruiz right off the draw. Shots, by the way, 17-14 in favor of Port Huron.
And Hojic is hurt. Hojic went in on a hit, and he missed the hit, and he went face first into the glass. And Hojic immediately was heading to the bench.
And here we got a Donnybrook at the other end of the rink.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this is going to rile up the fans a little bit. It's not a full-on fight, not a full-on brawl.
No, Pamaleon was hitting somebody from behind after Pamaleon lost his helmet. And now he tosses his gloves towards the boards. So something set Pamaleon off, and now he fires the water bottle down, and he does it again. And he better watch himself here. He's losing his composure.
Yep.
And that's already gotten Danbury in trouble. Abusive official, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And a 1-0 game is now a 1-1 game. Danbury's got to pull themselves together here before this gets out of control.
Yep. This has the real opportunity to go sideways. By the way, while we're sorting out the penalties, the full scoring on the goal that tied the game up, Joseph DeVenny with the goal at 11:18 on the power play, 1 assist on it. Dan Chartrand, number 21, gets the lone assist. So just to clean up all the loose ends, that's the scoring on that goal.
And a big goal for DeVenny, his 20th of the season. He's had a real good season, a good veteran guy. He's got SPHL experience, has stepped in as a veteran and had a really nice season for Port Huron, who goes right back to the power play.
2 more minutes on the penalty kill for the Danbury Hat Tricks, and once more it's Zach Pamaleon sitting in the box. Danbury 1 for 2 on the kill. Ruiz will knock this down and hurl this the opposite way. It's a 2-minute roughing penalty against Pamaleon. So that's the ruling on that. 2 minutes roughing, and the Hat Tricks, who have just given up a power play goal, need to kill off a penalty to at least keep this game at equal 1-1. Gonzalez overruns it. Gonzalez fans on the exit. Falanga will get this out. De Benedette tries to win the contest for it. De Benedette muscles his way through, still with the puck. Backhands the puck, or at least attempts to on, and has it pocket picked by Matt Stoya. That's great physical work by Lucas De Benedette, and an offsides called against Port Huron.
And a great job by Falanga coming back there. He had to show a lot of speed. That was a 4-on-2 for Port Huron. And Falanga came all the way back and was able to break up, not only break up the 4-on-2, make it a 4-on-3, but he forced Port Huron to go offside as well. Terrific job by Falanga.
They've got McKittrick and Graham on the dot. Clean win for the Prowlers. Rung around to the opposite side for Jason Diamond. They'll set this one up at the point. Graham, player coach. Federle with some room, top of the circle. 38 seconds worth of power play time left to go. Federle winds up for the blast. Kick save by Wilson. A good clear by Dowler. Knocked down by Federle, but not until it was on the correct side of the blue line from Danbury's perspective. Dowler rings this off the glass and down the opposite end of the rink. Rodrigue holds it. We'll pass this one up the wing. 11 seconds left of penalty time, and the Hat-Tricks just have these last couple of seconds burn off. They are 1 for 3 on the penalty kill as Pamaleon comes flying out of the box. Pass ahead for Tobias Ojic, who's quickly back out onto the ice. Ojic in front, tried to backhand it top shelf, couldn't quite funnel it in. Ruiz had the whack at it. Yao and Ruiz combined to keep the puck in the attacking end. Yao will leave it for Ojic and Radcliffe to go chase. Radcliffe, the New Zealander, wrestling for it. We've got a penalty going against Port Huron. And a little bit of pushing and shoving afterwards. Yao goes down to a knee, quickly back up, and the officials trying to make sure that this game doesn't get completely out of hand.
And if you're Danbury, you want to make sure that you stay on the power play here. Yao's going to go to the box, but I think it's going to be 2 Prowlers and 1 hat-trick. So it looks like the power play, yes.
It's still intact.
It's still intact.
That's Parsons who's heading off for the Hat-Tricks and Chartrand who's heading off. Or sorry, Parsons and Chartrand who are heading off for the Prowlers. Yao sits down in the box. So 5:12 to go in the second. They throw the 2-minute minor up. And Danbury, who's gotten their goal on the power play, and it's been the story of the game. Ojic is leaving. Ojic is heading off.
Yeah, so, you know, he ran into the boards face first before, then he came back out on the ice, Chris, and then he was just boarded right there.
Yep.
And so he heads to the dressing room, and they're dropping like flies for Danbury right now.
Xavier Abdella, Billy McCreary, and now Tobias Ojic have left the ice.
And the bench.
And the bench. Ruiz with the shot. He really didn't get much on it, but got a good-looking shot chance. Gonzalez on the blue line. Lines up. McDonald shoots and scores! Johnny McDonald, top corner. Second power play goal of the game for the Hat-Tricks. They lead it 2-1.
Well, 2 for 2 on the power play is Danbury. Boy, what a beautiful shot by McDonald. Let's take a look at this.
Oh,
good look by Gonzalez. He just skates in a couple strides and he just roofs it.
And Ruiz was calling for it too, and then immediately went from I want to shoot it to yay, we score.
Yeah, no, it's a good look by Gonzalez because the opposing team tends to always kind of shift towards watching Johnny Ruiz in that left circle. So Gonzalez looked them off. Pass to the right. McDonald was wide open, had all night to shoot that puck, skated in a little bit, and he roofed it. And that is a huge power play goal, and Danbury's back up by 1.
That's McDonald's 6th goal of the season, his 21st point of the season. Gonzalez will get an assist on that. That'll be his 20th point, 18th assist of the season. That's 3 20-point-plus defensemen at this point of the season for the Hat-Tricks. Gonzalez, McDonald, and Jared Yao as well, who's also got a point in this game. Works the puck on towards the net. Dowler will try and flip this up. Kuznetsov. Dowler will work this way into the boards. They just now are announcing what the actual penalties are, but they'll get to the rest of the goal scoring as this is going to be flied, and this is going to be textbook icing as we come up on the under 5 media timeout. We'll take one last pause and hop back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena on the Danbury Hat-Tricks YouTube channel.
Well, Sunset Hill Golf Course is a friendly place to play. 9 holes in Brookfield. It's birdies, eagles, and bogeys. Enjoy the day with a nice cold Arnold Palmer. Do it at Sunset Hill Golf Course. You like yourself a little Arnold Palmer, it looks like.
Yes, I do. I'm waiting for the time where I can go back onto the golf course with my dad and get an Arnie Palmer and some wings after the round.
I am not a golf guy. I play every sport there is. That is one, no interest.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
deadly.
Okay. Any reason for that?
Just no interest.
Okay, fair enough. Shot whistled.
But if I was playing, I would go to Sunset Hill.
Absolutely. Very good place. Lovely folks over there. Falanga on the loose puck. Getting his stick lifted from behind. Falanga still with it. Shields the puck very well. Threw it off the apron. Leaves it for Kuznetsov. Got a very nice cheer during the media timeout for his birthday being today. The scattered cheer is let's go hat tricks. Foley over the middle. McDonald knocks him down. This is going to be another hat trick penalty. It's going to go against McDonald.
So he's called for a tripping penalty. Maybe he got his stick in. I mean, he just shoved the guy to the ice. I'd love to get another look at that one.
Yeah. Let's.
Johnny McDonald he looked like he was in shock when he headed to the box.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird penalty to call. I thought it was going to be a cross-checking or an interference penalty, not a tripping.
I didn't think it was a penalty, period. But what do I know?
Well, the official's word is gospel, and so we have to deal with it. All right. The story of this game has been power plays and penalties. Danbury has both of their goals on the man advantage, as Port Huron does as well. They've got their lone goal. Danbury 2 for 2 on the man advantage. Port Huron has a couple of misses on the advantage, so we'll see how this will work itself out. They're getting the goal scoring out right now. It's McDonald with the goal, and they awarded an assist to Johnny Ruiz. That should be Gonzo's assist.
Yeah, that has to be.
That'll get changed.
Yeah, Gonzalez made the pass.
Yep, that is going to get changed. 30 seconds gone by on the power play. Up to Dalton Jay across the blue line. Jay goes down. Gonzalez with the hit. Flipped out by McKittrick. Shots, by the way, 15-18 as we burn down remaining time here in the second period. Whistle will sound with 1:12 to go on the power play. I believe that was for an offsides. By the way, the misconduct penalties are penalties against Yao coming to an end, so he's headed back to the bench. So
yeah,
easy.
Which is key.
Yep.
Get him back out there on the PK. One thing I've noticed on the PK so far tonight for Danbury, and it speaks to Johnny coming back to the lineup after missing 8 games, is that Ruiz has not played on the PK at all in tonight's game. And he's typically out there at all situations, even strength, penalty kill, and power play.
An unfortunate bounce goes over the stick of Matt Stoya. 54 seconds of penalty time to go. Port Huron aiming to tie the game again. Pulls up at the left dot. Venny, who has the goal for Port Huron. Dowler with the check. Under 2 minutes to go. We've got another whistle. And where is this going? They're going to signal it against Port Huron. I think it's a high... Yep, it's a slashing penalty that they're going to call against Joseph DeVenny. And so we get 34 seconds worth of 4-on-4 skating. So,
I mean, a break here for Danbury. Again, it was a good kill. I know they allowed a power play goal earlier in the period, but they come back, 2 good kills after that. And now here they get a break, and they get a little 4-on-4 for 34 seconds, and then they get their own power play to finish off the period.
The two number 19s, Ruiz and Federley, will take to the dot. 34 seconds worth of 4-on-4 skating. Ruiz tries to work the shot through some traffic. Spins out of a hit. Marchesson in front, works on the shot. Good stick check by Rodrigue to clear it. Here come the Prowlers. Federley pulls up at the blue line.
So definitely 2 for slashing
Yep.
at 18-13.
The McDonald penalty is going to burn off. Final 5 seconds of that, and then the hat-tricks will get a slightly truncated power play. Also, if they don't score on it here at the end of the second, is pass headlong to Ruiz. To McDonald out of the box. Marchesson waits for it, spins right around him. Ruiz along the half boards. It's underneath his stick. Gonzalez low for Ruiz. Last minute of the second period. Ruiz at the top of the left circle to McKittrick. Walks it in. Loose puck. Marchesson had the stick between his legs. And Rodrigue will put it in between his pads and kill the play with 47 seconds to go in the frame.
You can feel Marchesson's frustration right there. You know, he was right there. The puck came right to him, but there were 3 guys around him, and his stick's caught up between his legs. And, you know, the goalie then just reached out and pulled the puck underneath him. Marchesson has been the hottest of the hat-trick players offensively. Came in with an 8-game point scoring streak. But he's been held off the board so far tonight.
40 seconds left to go here in the second. Jared Yao on the loose puck. Again, if the hat-tricks don't score, this power play will bleed over to the very start of the third period. Be about 12 seconds, depending on tenths and ticks and whatever. Gonzalez will hold it. 20 seconds left. Yao will make his move. Wanted the headlong pass for DeBenedette. I'm not sure I like that idea. 13 seconds left. The hat-tricks will try it again. Kuznetsov. They have enough time to get a clean shot away. Kuznetsov into the attacking end. Works it off the end boards. Radcliffe holds on. Looks for the tip. And a nice glove hand save for Rodrigue right at the buzzer. We'll go into second intermission 2-1 in favor of the hat-tricks. And story of the game has been power play, power play, power play.
Yeah, and officiating. The officials have become a really, really big part of this game. The hat-tricks, you know, had to finish out this period, you know, without Abdella, you know, without their coach, Billy McCreary. Of course, they'll have to finish out the rest of the game because Billy was ejected from the game. You know, so they played a big role here, but the Danbury penalty kill really came up big when it looked like things were going to spiral out of control. They were actually able to settle things down with a real good penalty kill, 2 really good penalty kills, and then were able to score again on the power play themselves. That's where we are right now. 3 power play goals in this one, 2 for Danbury and 1 for Port Huron, and that's where we are after 40 minutes of play.
Before we throw things down to the ice for the festivities, let's give you a quick look around some of the scores in the FPHL. 2-2, Columbus and Mississippi are tied up about middle of the second period in that game. 6-0, Motor City is beating up on Elmira. 3-1, Watertown looks like they're just about to start the third period, I believe, in Delaware. So Watertown 3-1 in that game. Binghamton and Carolina are tied 3-3 about midway through the third period in that matchup.
And of course, Binghamton was up 3-1 at one point in that game.
Good bounce back by the Thunderbirds to climb back in. Also, I'm looking at the shots for that game. Binghamton, 21-8, dominated the shots in the first period of that game.
Yeah,
sounds right.
Fast start, but Carolina with the good comeback.
So we'll take a breather. We'll throw things down to Master of Ceremonies Herm Sorcher at ice level. Brief pause, back in a little bit with Jim Ernie and Chris Lynch here on the Danbury Hat-Tricks YouTube channel.
Everybody wins 5 free chicken wings from TK's. How does that sound? Have you been to TK's? Which is your favorite wing? Classic. classic Buffalo person. All right, here we go. Now look, we got Major League Baseball right around the corner. So are there any Boston Red Sox fans in the building? Are there any Houston Astros fans in the building tonight? Any 1986 World Series champion Hurricane fans in the building? How about New York Yankee fans? Wow. Okay, come on, you can shake them all around the TKs. Working, there you go. You put that in the net, everybody wins 5 free wings from TKs. Down there, let's go. Let's see what you got. Nice and easy. Oh, wow. Not impressive. But look, you got another chance, and here you go. We're going to push them all this way. All right, Morgan, let's go. Let's see what you can do here. 5 free wings from TKs located on 255 White Street. Okay, look, here we go. We're getting halfway there right now. So you make this, everybody wins 5 wings. There's karaoke. There's you're the best. That's Morgan. All right, fans. Hey, look. We got Chugga coming up right now. Chugga is sponsored by Todd Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Danbury. If you are looking for a vehicle, Todd Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Danbury is the place to go. The Berry family has been putting this community behind the wheel of quality vehicles for 35 years. All right, now look, the prize is $200 in the can, or you can take home the air fryer. 3, 2, 1, chug your bucks. What time is your father going to pick you up? Oh man. Here we go. 73. All right, not bad. All right, you can claim your prizes at the merchandise stand. Thanks for playing.
Actually faded. Second intermission coming to a close here at the Danbury Ice Arena. A good time had so far by some, maybe not by Billy McCreary, who has been tossed from the game, but still, 2-1. The Danbury Hat-Tricks are in the lead over the Port Huron Prowlers. Welcome back in. I'm Chris Lynch, alongside my partner in crime, Jim Cerny. And Jim, this is alternated between a lot of offensive chances, or enough to make it very interesting, and then a courtroom session.
Yeah, we did have a quite a lengthy break in the action as officials were trying to decide what the heck to do at one point about midway through the period. And, you know, penalties were called, guys were ejected, coach was kicked out. And, you know, when the dust settled, you know, Port Huron tied the game, but to Danbury's credit, they settled things down. They got their composure underneath them, and they were able to fight back, score a power play goal of their own. Johnny McDonald with the go-ahead goal. Now they got themselves a 2-1 lead, and they try and nurse it home with 20 minutes to play here at Danbury Arena.
Still 12 seconds worth of a power play to go for the Hat-Tricks. De Benedette to take the draw against player coach Matt Graham. The puck is dropped. We're underway for the third and final period of regulation time. And it's a truncated power play, and it's going to burn off without the Hat-Tricks really being able to do anything on it at this stage. So we're back to even strength. Gonzalez on the loose puck. Marchesson, 3-on-3. The Hat-Tricks go into the attacking end. McKittrick sets up behind the net in Gretzky's office. Worked off to the corner. Marchesson and McKittrick try to win it. Port Huron can't get it out. Fans on the clear. Yao from Marchesson. De Benedette will leave it for McDonald. Great pass. De Benedette's shot got blocked down. It's a brilliant pass. Shot on, kick save by Rodrigue.
Boy, a lot of nice things in that play. It was a pretty feed.
Yes.
And then a great block by Alex Johnson as well.
Yes. Good looks, good chances. And a good aware defense by the Prowlers. Dowler. That accidentally rhymed. I'm only a little sorry. Dowler and Prowler.
Yeah.
Amesbury. Pass forward underneath Ratcliffe's stick. He's on the right side of the red line, so no icing here. Amesbury wins the race to the puck. Wanted to work it towards the point. Ruiz pinches with the keep. Amesbury with the good keep. Worked off his stick. Ratcliffe tried to win it free and couldn't. Devaney has got the lone Prowler goal this evening. Leaves it, shot blocked by Zach Pamaleon. Worth noting, I'm looking down at the bench and I don't see Tobias Ojic anywhere.
Yeah, and as such, Amesbury has taken his spot on this line with Ratcliffe and Ruiz. An opportunity for Amesbury, a veteran player who's not often called on to be, you know, in an offensive position. But that's the role he's going to be here with Ruiz and Ratcliffe. But yes, not good news that Tobias Ojic is not on the bench.
Gonzalez on the loose puck. We'll give it off to Zach Pamaleon. Looks for the long pass ahead for Kuznetsov. It's tipped by Jason Diamond, so no offsides or no icing whistle.
And of course, Xavier Abdella not on the bench either. So You're down two guys.
Plus your head coach.
And your head coach.
Tyler Noseworthy, I presume, has taken over
Yes.
the reins. Heinzel, Yao will knock that down. They've got a couple of guys who have real head coaching experience on that bench. Tyler Noseworthy currently serves as the NA3HL head. Chanson front, not quite there. Noseworthy serves currently as the NA3HL junior hat-trick head coach. Good shot by Kuznetsov, and Matt Voidy served as the head coach of the NAHL junior hat-tricks. Marchesson, the shot. The net came off its moorings. Rodrigue slid backwards into it. Play is going to be blown dead.
Good scoring opportunity for Michael Marchesson there. Got a good high-rising shot. And fighting that off was Rodrigue. And as he fought it off, he kind of went backwards and up underneath the crossbar and lifted the net off its stanchion. So we'll get a face-off to the right of the Port Huron goalie. 3:02 gone by here in the final period.
They're taking some extra time just to make sure. Here's that shot by Marchesson, a nice angle on it.
Yeah.
And you see the net coming off its moorings. 3 players for the hat tricks wrestling for possession of the puck. Port Huron will come away with it. Diagonal pass across neutral ice. Whacked in by Dalton. Marchesson slides this forward. Into the awaiting mitt of Rodriguez. No,
just in and out.
Yeah, that was a weird setup. 3-on-1 opportunity for the Prowlers. Jared Yao with the great catch-up play to knock that down and deny the chance.
Great back check by Jared Yao. Caught up ice on a 3-on-1. He made up ground in no time.
And read the pass correctly on where it was going to go. 4 minutes gone here in the third. McKittrick. You better believe that these hat-trick players don't feel that comfortable with a 2-1 lead and they want more. Up to the top of the circle, winds up, shoots it. That caught Wilson and the crossbar. Oh boy, they are lucky that this game is not tied right now.
Well, Wilson got the first piece of it, but then the second piece was iron as then it deflected up into the netting. So Wilson does get credit for his save, and the pipe, his best friend right there. And this one remains 2-1 Danbury.
Ruiz and Foley on the dot. Good positioning by Torrey McLean. McLean wrestling with Ruiz. Worked up, wanted Amesbury, shot blocked. Nope, Wilson will just put it away immediately.
Yeah, Johnny Ruiz tried to clear it up the near wall. It was too hard for Amesbury to get a stick to it, but there was a guy right at the left point. So it's kind of turned over there and wristed quickly on net, but Brian Wilson was alert and made the save. And now off the faceoff, puck comes out to center.
Amesbury sprinting ahead, trying to work the puck free, floated back out to neutral space. Ratcliffe will settle it, nifty pass across. Johnny McDonald glides in. Ratcliffe in hot pursuit, given off to the left corner. Port Huron will take their time. 15 minutes to go in the third and final period of regulation. Wilson will put that in his mitt. And that's that. We'll take a quick pause at the under 15 timeout. Quick pause back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena.
Decker Tool Rental is the official full-service equipment rental shop, providing a complete line of quality equipment to all types of contractors, tradesmen, and do-it-yourselfers. Visit them today at 84 Federal Road in Danbury or on the web, deckertoolrental.com. And a little housekeeping with the scoring in that second period. The Port Huron goal at 11:18, a power play goal. Devaney his 20th. We originally had just Chartrand on the assist, but now Johnson gets a secondary assist. And on the Danbury goal at 15:14 by McDonald, his 6th, the assist has been rightfully changed to Gonzalez, not Ruiz.
Rodriguez well out of his net. Kuznetsov the keep at the point. Falanga put it off the side of the goal. Rodriguez gotten back in. That's way too aggressive. But it ultimately doesn't hurt him. Bad turnover by Pamaleon across to the dot. And a good catch up by Brendan Dowler. Both teams making mistakes that ultimately don't hurt them. Another turnover here. Pamaleon on the loose puck. Forward, Borshev in alone at the circle. Save made by Rodriguez. Back and forth we go right out of the media timeouts.
Yeah, 2 good plays by Brendan Dowler back in his own end. Rushing back, breaking up a clear scoring opportunity, and then when the puck came out of the zone and was coming back into the zone. He stood up his man. Puck comes out the other way. Borshev is sent in, not quite on a breakaway, but he did have a step on the D. But a good job by Rodrigue. Came out, cut down the angle, and Borshev shot it right into his chest.
DeBenedette on the dot. He'll win it. Yao fans on the puck. Chance for a 2-on-1 with a trailer. In front, backhander sent a little bit wide. Dalton J has been in on a couple of those breakout chances and hadn't gotten one of them to go. Nice deke, nice handle, circle shot, blocked by Johnny McDonald. Marchessault pass a bit too far ahead of him. This has a chance to turn into an icing, and it will. The race to the puck won by Alex Johnson.
And Johnny McDonald is shaken up. He has come to the Danbury bench. And remember, that was an icing on Danbury, and McDonald was on the ice when the puck was iced. However, I think the official is letting him be replaced because he's in distress right now on the Danbury bench.
And that is in the rule book. You're allowed to do that. Johnson from the point, shot blocked by Yao. Danbury has blocked a ton of shots tonight.
They have.
We don't have a shot chart with us, but I would love to see just how many shots have been blocked. These players were turning into black and orange sponges.
Yeah, as Port Huron ices the puck here, absolutely. Gonzalez has probably blocked the most, if I would say off the top of my head, but you get Yao right there. Dowler certainly had his fair share tonight. And we'll get the face-off to the left of Rodrigue with 13:32 to play in period number 3.
The slightly reshuffled lines, Ruiz, Radcliffe, and Amesbury on the ice together. It's a clean win for Graham off the draw. That top line of Marchessault, DeBenedette, and McKittrick stays intact. Over the blue line, Port Huron doesn't have numbers. Ruiz back and defending against Johnson. Dowler will poke it free. Amesbury cuts it over the middle. Dowler.
Nice little look.
Yeah, Dowler glides in, shoots it a little bit wide. Goalie goes down and his helmet comes off. Ruiz took a hit after the play as well. Amesbury coming over to have a friendly little chat with Johnson, it looks like.
Yeah, you know, Johnny's not happy because obviously he's, he just missed 8 games, because of the shoulder injury. And here he takes a hit from Johnson. He thinks it's a late hit, a late check. I think I'll be honest, yes, it was after the whistle, but Johnson it seemed like he's just following through.
Yeah.
Johnny plays the puck. The whistle just blew. I'm going to give Johnson the benefit of the doubt there, but I understand why Johnny would not be happy, especially coming off an injury.
Clean face-off win for Ruiz. Radcliffe the shot. Dowler will settle this down. Lob it in. Right on net. Rodrigue smartly will just put his mitt on it and cover it up. Shots 21-21. A very even matchup to this point.
Well, couldn't be any more even.
Yeah, as far as the shot counter, it could be. We could be tied.
Well, that could be, but you were talking about the shots.
Okay, fair point.
And guess what? They're even.
Yes, they are even now.
Yes.
I missed calling games with you, Jim.
Yes, the sarcasm bubbling to the top in the third period.
Oh, we're a couple of Northeasterners. We know how to talk this language.
Yes.
Under 13 to go here in the third period. Port Huron has tied the game once, looking to do it again. Up to the blue line, follows the shot on, kick saved by Wilson. Palanga tried to float that out for Borshev. He'll settle it in his own end instead. Here comes McDonald up to Kuznetsov. Bangs off of his skate. Patrick's in the middle of a change, and this is an interesting spot for Tyler Noseworthy, who has to make the decisions as to when the players hop on and off the ice. You're down 2 players, so you only have 16 skaters you can roll, and Johnny's recovering from recent shoulder injury, so you have to be fast with these changes.
Yeah, you would think so. Tyler's handling the forward changes, and Matt Voidy is handling the defenseman changes. You see Maddie having a conversation with Brendan Dowler right now on the bench as the puck is played with a high stick. And 11:47 to go in the period. Hat-tricks in action, hosting Port Huron tomorrow night, 7 o'clock here at Danbury Arena. And then next week, it's a home-and-home against the Elmira Mammoth. They'll be home on Friday night at 7:30 and then head to Elmira on Saturday night for the second half of the home-and-home.
Friday also is cheer and dance night here at the Danbury Ice Arena. And whatever cheer or dance group has the most people in attendance will get the chance to do a promo video with the hat-tricks as Marcheson's shot goes well wide with McKittrick going out in front. We'll get a $250 donation from the Danbury Hat-tricks. Great opportunities to show your spirit and come on and support the Danbury Hat-tricks on March 3rd. Across the blue line, Gonzalez off the glass. Port Huron with the keeper. Good check by De Benedette. 4 players just waiting for the puck to move. Yep, it springs free. McKittrick, this pops straight up. McKittrick will glove it. Quick note on Matt Voidy as well. He's the goaltending director for the entire Danbury Hat-tricks organization, and across all levels of the Hat-tricks, that's been one of the strongest places in the entire organization.
Yeah, this is true.
Lobbed on, kicked away. Radcliffe in front. Ruiz tries to put the shot on net. Save made. Puck is loose, and Yao has to sprint back. This has the chance to turn into an icing, and it just about barely runs out of steam.
Hey, yeah. Johnny Ruiz, another good opportunity there. Didn't get enough on the shot. Just rolled the puck into the goalie.
Amesbury with a nice heads-up pass. They try and get Ruiz ahead. Jay across to Johnson. Out in front to the crease. No one there. Ruiz gonna hop off. We're under 10 to go here in the third. 2-1 in favor of the home team. This is an icing call. And we have Amesbury lining up with Alex Johnson. I don't think they're actually going to drop the mitts properly.
No. But it looks like Amesbury is going to head to the penalty box.
This will be just a minor penalty. This isn't going to be anything more serious than that. We'll figure out what it is on the other side of the break. 9:51 to go here on the Danbury Hat-tricks YouTube channel.
McCabe's Classic Deli in Brookfield is ready to serve you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Grab and go or ready to heat and eat. McCabe's is food with the Bronx flair. If the Hat-tricks win tonight, everyone has won a buy one, get one free breakfast sandwich from McCabe's Classic Deli.
9:51 to go. It's a 2-minute minor against Daniel Amesbury. His second infraction of the night. It's a roughing penalty against Amesbury.
And Port Huron is 1 for 4 on the power play so far tonight.
One of those truncated power play that they took a penalty on in the middle of it, so.
And look who's out killing a penalty here in the third period with the game on the line.
Johnny Ruiz.
It's Johnny Ruiz, who had not killed a penalty to this point, coming back from an injury. But Johnny was out there on the key kill in the third. He heads to the bench now.
Well, they don't have Tobias Ojic anymore, so it's every man on the ice that they can spare right now. Stoya the shot. Wilson will just swallow it up. McDonald and Chartrand talking to each other right in front of Brian Wilson. And the shots aren't that overwhelming. It's 23-22 in Port Huron's favor. But Brian Wilson has played great this evening.
No, he's had a terrific night. You know, I said it in the first period. I said, boy, you can tell he is dialed in tonight. He's been dialed in all season, but he's dialed in tonight.
9:09 to go. 118 on the power play. You see Billy McCreary hanging out up top.
As long as he's not on the bench.
That's perfectly legal.
Man of the people, Billy McCreary.
Yes, he most certainly is. He attempts to give the people what they want, and what they want is good hockey.
A winning team, and that they have been that the 3 years that he's been general manager here.
Circle shot. Wilson with the smooth glove for the save.
Smooth is the word, man. You're right on with that description. He's in perfect position, just a little turn to his right, and just easy glove save. Makes it look really easy. That's when you know a goalie is really on. They make everything look easy.
Calm, confident. 53 seconds worth of penalty time still to kill.
And there's Johnny again.
Won the face-off, couldn't get it out beyond Federley's stick. The goal line extended. Graham sets up. Falanga with a good tip. Knocked it upstairs, and Dalton J was streaking back door. Falanga with a good stick to blow that up.
And Port Huron loves that backdoor play that you just talked about. And then inevitably, the guy that's going backdoor is Dalton J. You know, he's the guy, he's their leading point producer, leading goal scorer on the season. 25 goals, 54 points. He is 7th in the league in scoring this season.
He has been a terror against opposing teams. Got his start in the FPHL in this building with the Danbury Titans all the way back in the 16-17 season. On net, just a little bit wide at the blue line. Hands off to the left at the top of the circle. 20 seconds left. Port Huron taking their time. Now moving. Circle across. Another good stick. Flipped out. Falanga sprints ahead. In alone. Falanga glides in and scores! Shorthanded goal. Michael Falanga. 3-1 hat tricks.
Boy, that was a pretty one, Chris. A huge, you talk about a back-breaking goal. Late on the penalty kill, Falanga gets an all-out breakaway up left wing, and he makes no mistake from the left circle, going short side. His 9th goal of the season. That is a huge one. Danbury leads 3-1.
18 points in now 30 games that he has played. The hat tricks. Wow, a great time for a shorthanded goal, and really the story of the game is Amesbury comes out of the box. Really, the story of the game more than anything else is how you've done on special teams,
yeah,
and the hat tricks
absolutely
have definitively won that matchup so far.
Absolutely, 2 power play goals and now a shorthanded goal for Danbury tonight. Special teams indeed, and a 3-1 lead. For Falanga, that's his first shorthanded goal of the season. And Danbury now on the season has 7 shorthanded goals. That is near the top, not at the top, but near the top of the Federal League.
7:10 the time remaining. Underneath Amesbury's stick. This will be a pretty simple bit of scoring. Back comes Port Huron, now needing 2 goals to tie it wide of Wilson. Ruiz gets a point. It's nice to see him get on the score sheet. Ruiz's 14th assist of the season and 36th point in his 31st game this season.
And Johnny McDonald picks up the secondary assist. He's got himself 2 points tonight.
It's been a very good night. We're going to have to start thinking about who the 3 stars of the game are. I have my supposed guess for one of them that I don't think there will be any disagreements about.
We'll see.
We'll review.
We disagree.
Possibly.
Oh, we'll see. We'll talk about it off air during the next break.
We'll reveal it at the end of the game when,
yes, we will.
if the Hat Tricks win, they get to lift the Litchfield Distillery's barrel.
Absolutely. Hoist the barrel at center ice, but still have 6:26 to play in this one. Now up 2, their biggest lead of the night.
Port Huron trying to get out of their own end. A turnover here. DeBenedetta across, looks for the shot. Covered up. A great stretch across save by Rodrigue.
Yeah, absolutely. My knees and my groin felt that one all the way up here. Boy, that is some stretch by Rodrigue. And listen, he's giving his team a chance. We talked about, Brian Wilson's had a terrific night. Rodrigue has been pretty darn good too. And that was a huge save there, keeping his team in the game with 6:13 to go. Rodriguez coming off a 41 save effort last Saturday in a win against Motor City. That was his most saves in a game this season.
20 stops on 23 shots faced. This certainly is not a bad performance by Rodrigue this game. He's made a couple of 10-bell saves, but goals that have gone down, especially the Falanga one, just really good offense on the part of the Hat Tricks.
Listen, tough to blame a goalie on a breakaway goal.
Yep.
A shorthanded breakaway goal, I should add.
Yes. At the circle, Radcliffe tries to knock this down. Prowlers at the red line. Matches their red pants and gloves and sleeves at the end of their yellow jerseys. 5:25 left to go in the third. 3-1 in favor of the Hat Tricks. Borshev tried to work it free. Long pass ahead, wanted Federley. Wilson will just calmly roll this aside for McDonald. Knocked down by Graham. Yao will lob this into Port Huron ice, and that's an icing with 5:02 left.
You don't want to see that. If you're Danbury, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to lift it high in the air and, kind of have it die somewhere around the circle. Didn't get enough lift on that one, and so it's an icing. Face off to the left of Brian Wilson, who has stopped 23 of 24 shots so far in this one, making his 4th straight start.
And by the way, one quick out-of-town score. We're at the end of the third period in the Binghamton game. Black Bears 3, Carolina 4.
Oh, so did it end, or
it looks like it has.
Late third?
It looks like the clock reads 20 minutes in red on the board as Falanga glides in. Falanga will pull up at the circles. So, yes, that game does appear to be all done. And the Carolina Thunderbirds have indeed defeated the Binghamton Black Bears. So if the Hat Tricks hold on and win this game, they gain points in the standings at a meaningful, crucial time of the season. We get our media timeout. Quick pause, back in a moment from the Danbury Ice Arena.
Set Fitness is the official gym and training center of the Danbury Hat Tricks. Pump iron or tone up. Don't get sand kicked in your face. Join Set Fitness and be the best you.
4:19 the time remaining. 3-1 in favor of the Danbury Hat Tricks. Chris Lynch and Jim Cerny on the call with you here this evening. Wind up with a blast. It's a good-looking shot for Daniel McKittrick. Across the line, flipped out. DeBenedette will lob it on. Settled and rung round to the left. at the circle. Port Huron with now under 4 to play. Pamaleon wrestling for possession. It's one of the better stories of this team that they have been so succinctly able to transition Pamaleon to being basically a full-time defenseman. I got to talk to him about that. He had played in his father's beer league hockey games as a defenseman, but never fully in college or never fully at the pro level. Billy asked him in one practice, could he do it? He said, yeah, he could. And so they tried it in a game, and it worked.
Yeah, it's worked really well. You know, at times when Danbury's been shorthanded defensemen because of injury or guys getting called up to the SPHL, you know, he dropped back there and played well, and now he's one of their top 6. He is one of their regular defensemen.
And by the way, just to confirm, yes, the Carolina Thunderbirds have won their game 4-3 in Binghamton, coming back from down 3-1 to win that game. So the Hat-Tricks, a golden chance to climb in the standings and put some breathing room between them and their nearest in-division rival.
Yeah, so,
oh, man down, in alone, Radcliffe scores! 4-1 Danbury. The New Zealand man gets his first point and goal as a hat trick.
just a giveaway right in front of their own net by Port Huron. And Ratcliffe is Johnny on the spot. He collects the loose disc, and he makes no mistake. Yeah, right between the circles, and goes up top. And that should put this one to bed. Danbury now a 3-goal lead, 2 goals here in the third period. They lead it 4-1, and as you pointed out, Ratcliffe, his first goal in his third game with the hat tricks.
His first point of any kind.
Yes.
Prowlers at the blue line, punched out to the wall. McDonald will hop over on it. This is a good win if they hold on to it for the Danbury Hat-Tricks as we tick down. Ruiz will backhand this one in. This has a chance to turn into an icing, and it does. Clock is still running, and they're just pointing that out right now.
Yeah.
So
can't be letting that happen.
I think they're going to try and add a couple of seconds back on. 2:21 the time to go.
So it looks like it'll be Ratcliffe from Yao, his second assist of the game at 16:59.
Yao up to 24 assists, 26 points. He's the team's leading scorer from the blue line. Richmond, British Columbia native. He's had a wonderful time this season. Ratcliffe hailing from Canterbury, New Zealand. Born there, grew up near Auckland. On comes Kuznetsov at the circle. Kuznetsov walks it in. Runs out of real estate. Under 2 minutes to go. Prowlers aim to cut into this lead. Johnson the shot. How about another good save for Brian Wilson? That'd be his 24th save of the evening.
Again, just really looking confident in the net. Beginning to end, it's been a very strong night for Brian Wilson.
Kuznetsov will roll this deep. A day after getting called up to play for Belleville in the AHL, he comes back here to Danbury and looks excellent. Across the red line, Pamaleon can't get it beyond the outstretched stick of Torrey McLean. Pamaleon through some traffic. Last minute of regulation time. McKittrick wanted to get it through for DeBenedette. The whistle will sound with 55.9 to go.
That was a pretty delayed offside right there. Like, I thought it was clearly offside when they entered the zone. I'm like, oh, maybe I was wrong. And then about 2 seconds later, I found out I was right.
DeBenedette on the dot. Taking the face-off against Dimitros Stefano. Made his professional debut this evening. Diamond as well. Puck goes over Wilson's outstretched mitt. These teams will meet again tomorrow, 7 p.m. here on the home sheet of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. I'll be back with you tomorrow. Jim Cerny, I believe you will be as well. Yes, you will be. Jim Cerny will be back with me for a good Saturday night here in Hat City.
Not next Friday, however. That is the NHL trade deadline, so I will be working all day and all night.
That's understandable. You'll be trying to make sure the NHL website stays not on fire.
Yes, exactly.
Final couple of seconds will burn down. One more shot on net for good measure. And the Danbury Hat-Tricks have defeated the Port Huron Prowlers 4-1. A complete performance. Start to finish, soup to nuts. The Danbury Hat-Tricks beat Port Huron.
Yeah, this is a good win, Chris. Port Huron's a good opponent who played a good game. But Danbury faced adversity in this one, not only facing a good opponent, but of course the whole crazy situation that took place in the second period. They started losing their composure. They lost their coach. They lost Xavier Abdella, who was playing terrific for them. Then they lost Tobias Ojic to injury, but they kept their composure and they delivered. They came through. And you see Ratcliffe here hoisting the barrel at center ice, and now he's going to give it a spin after picking up his first goal as a Danbury hat trick. And really, I mean, this is a really, really good win. It's a feel-good win, and it feels good to have Johnny Ruiz back in the lineup again, have your captain back. Just a good return home after being away for 3 weeks. And the hat tricks are now 16-1-2. On home ice this season. Pretty good, Chris Lynch.
Danbury improves to 29-6-5 overall. They'll climb in the standings. The 3 points will get them to 85 points. They're now 7 points clear of the Binghamton Black Bears, and that's among the most important things that they needed was some room, and they got some help with Carolina giving them a win in that game as well.
So, you get the 3 points tonight. Binghamton doesn't get any. Now, all of a sudden, you got, as you said, the breathing room. That's now a 7-point bulge, in the Empire Division. Now let's see now it's all about, as soon as this one ends, it's all about the next one. And it'll be a tough one tomorrow with Port Huron here in town. So certainly not easy for Danbury. But, you hope you have a big weekend at home here. And if you get a win tomorrow and Binghamton loses, all of a sudden you got a 10-point bulge for the top spot in the division.
Let's throw things down to Dre, the public address announcer, with the 3 stars of the game for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. They'll be all hat-tricks. Michael Falanga, the 3rd star, a shorthanded goal with the exclamation mark of the game. There's the 2nd star of the night. 2 points. Johnny McDonald waited until his name was finished being announced. The Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania native tips his stick to the crowd. And the number 1 star, the place where we are in full and complete union.
Yes.
The starting goaltender of the Danbury Hat-Tricks, Brian Wilson. I don't think this was in that much doubt.
Yeah, he was terrific again. And, you mentioned it earlier. You said, when you look at where they are at this point in the season, who has been the MVP of this team? And you said, and it's a good debate, Brian Wilson, Johnny Ruiz. And I said, I think it's been Brian Wilson. He has been consistently their best guy all season. And, he just continued it tonight. That is now 15 games this season that he's allowed 2 goals or fewer. That is pretty darn good. 21 wins, leads the league. The goals against is going to drop. The save percentage is going to go up. He was already 2nd in the league coming into play tonight in those categories. So it just keeps rolling along in a positive way for Brian Wilson and for the Hat-Tricks, who have now won 3 in a row and 7 out of their last 10 games. As again, they had a little issue late January, early February, but now they seem to have regained their footing and are back on top of their games. Again, third straight win. They've won 7 out of 10, and they continue to dominate here at home, and they pick up an important 3 points on the Binghamton Black Bears.
4-1 the final in this one. We'll be right back at it tomorrow. 7 p.m., the puck drop. You'll be able to catch me and Jim. Enjoy another night of hockey here in Hat City, USA. Once more, 4-1 the final. For Jim Cerny, Calvin Savoy, and all the folks who make our lives possible and make the broadcast work here with the Danbury Hat Tricks, with everybody here at the Danbury Ice Arena. I'm Chris Lynch. We hope you have enjoyed your time with us this evening. Be warm, be well, wherever you may be.